proposed distributions
Okay.
and asked them to, I didn't want to just forward them to you without asking them. So I asked one of them to forward them to you. I don't know if did y'all get those? Because I know Judge Hoffman likes to have those in front of him.
Yeah, let me see.
Sorry, I did not see that yet. Is that
I emailed it maybe 10, 15 minutes ago.
okay?
I can send it to Judge Hoffman if you want me to.
If you don't mind, that might be
Okay.
quickest.
That's fine.
I just didn't want to do it without you knowing, Paige, what I was doing.
I appreciate it.
Let's
Judge
go on.
Hoffman,
Let's go
what
on the
did you-
record on DC 21177799 Nogoose. Is that how you say it? Versus U-Haul Company of Texas. Council, make your appearances.
Paige Eldridge for the plaintiffs.
Brenda Phelps for the defendant.
Robert Greening, guardian ad litem.
All right. Did you send that on?
What's your email address, Judge Hoffman?
M. Hoffman. I don't want to put this on YouTube. Send it to Rhonda.
Okay.
All right. And Mr. Grading, did you make your announcement?
I did, Your Honor. And
Right.
Rhonda, I'm sending this to Rhonda right now.
And Rhonda forwarded it to me. All right, let's proceed. Go ahead and call your first witness.
Plaintiff calls Tanya Noguez.
Maybe you need to turn on your camera. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I'm wondering if she has a good enough connection. Go ahead.
See. Okay, Tanya, will you please state your full name for the record?
Tanya Crystal Noguez
And where do you currently reside?
in Garland, Texas.
Are you the mother of Jacqueline and Miranda Noguez?
I am.
Do you have custody of Jacqueline and Miranda?
I do.
And did you have custody at the time of the wreck, February 25th of 2021?
I did.
And the girls were born March 19th of 2014. So they were 6 years old at the time of this wreck, correct?
Correct.
And you understand that we're here in court today because of that motor vehicle collision that happened last February, right?
Correct.
And Jacqueline and Miranda were treated for pain primarily in their neck and back, correct?
That is correct.
And has that pain resolved for both of them?
Yes.
And you've agreed to settle Jacqueline and Miranda's cases for $15,000 each, true? Oh,
I couldn't hear.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes.
Okay, and do you believe that that's in their best interest?
I do.
And out of each of their settlements for $15,000, attorney's fees and expenses are $5,000, correct?
Yes.
And then $1,286.37 is to the medical providers as reimbursement for Jacqueline and Miranda's medical bills, correct?
Correct.
And Jacqueline and Miranda each have $8,713.63 that's going to be put into the registry of the court, correct?
Correct.
And you've had an opportunity to review these settlement disbursements?
Yes, I did.
And have you had an opportunity to have all of your questions answered regarding the settlement disbursements?
I have. Thank you.
Good. You agree with the amounts to be paid and to whom they're to be paid?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you agree with the amounts to be paid and to whom they're to be paid?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Are you happy
Ma'am.
with the representation? Sorry, Judge.
She needs to keep her camera on if that's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I have really bad reception here. It's not that I keep turning it off. I promise.
Oh,
Okay.
And I don't want, trust me, I'm so flustered too.
oh no, it's okay. We'll get through this quick. Are you happy with the representation that Jacqueline and Miranda received from our firm?
I am.
And again, you understand that $8,713.63 is going into the court's registry for Jacqueline, and the same is true for Miranda, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you understand that neither you nor anyone else can get the money that's in the court's registry until Jacqueline and Miranda turn 18.
Correct.
And you understand that that money will be paid to Jacqueline and Miranda solely for their own use and benefit.
Yes,
And you understand that by entering into this settlement agreement, you have waived their rights to a jury trial.
correct.
And you understand that a jury in Dallas County may have awarded them more, may have awarded them the same amount, may have awarded them less.
Yes,
And are you asking the court to approve this settlement?
yes, please.
All right, thank you very much. Pass the witness.
Ms. Phelps?
Ms. Noguez, good afternoon.
Yes.
I
Hi.
have one question for you, and that's just, do you understand that this concludes and finalizes all claims that you may have, or sorry, that you on behalf of your daughters may bring against U-Haul of Texas?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Greening?
Ms. Noguez, my name is Robert Greening. You and I have not met in person, but we met over the telephone on a couple of occasions. Do you recall our conversations?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, Ms. Noguez, you and I'm Robert Greening. I'm the guardian ad
Yes.
litem for your daughters, and you and I have never met in person, but we've had a couple of telephone conversations. Do you recall those conversations?
Yes, yes, I do.
And I don't have very many questions for you because you've been very well represented by Ms. Eldridge, and she asked you every question I would have asked you. But except for one, which is you and I spoke and we talked about what to do with the funds that were going to your daughters. And we went ahead and had the funds looked at by an annuity company, and we ran some numbers with an annuity company. But you and I both came to the decision that with the interest rates and the fees on annuities, we felt like that the best thing to do and the most financially prudent thing to do with this money would be to place it into the registry. Is that true?
Yes, that is correct.
And that's what you're asking the judge to do based upon
Yes, please.
all of that.
Yes,
Is that true?
yes, correct.
Okay,
How old are the daughters?
They are 8 now.
8.
Okay,
It was sort of on the edge, Your Honor, but we just decided this was probably the best thing to do. And do you feel like that I answered all of your questions when we talked? You didn't have any
Yes.
questions for me that I couldn't answer, true?
Correct.
And are you asking Judge Hoffman to approve the settlement?
Yes, please.
Okay, Your Honor, may I give you a brief report?
sure. Let me ask first, ma'am, do you have any questions for me?
I do not, sir. Thank you.
Are your daughters doing okay?
Yes, they are. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Greening.
Your Honor, I would ask that you approve the settlement. I have reviewed the medical records. I have reviewed the file materials that were sent to me, including the police report, the lawsuit, and all the medical records and bills. I think that the Witherite firm has done a great job in representation. They've been able to reduce these bills, and they, don't have any expenses that they're charging to the children in this case. And I think that's very fair of them. And like I said, we looked at this on an annuity basis, and Ms. Naguz really wanted to put it in the registry and not have an annuity. It was sort of on the fence kind of thing, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if you will, when you look at the interest rates and the fees associated with annuities. So I think that all in all, this is in the best interest of the children, and I would ask that you approve the settlement. My fee on this is I had it right here. Here it is, 3,000. I'm sorry, I thought I had it right here in front of me. It's Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Ms. Phelps, do you know? You're muted, Ms. Phelps.
Yes, I don't
I
know.
have it. I have it. I'm sorry, it was over here. $3,199.50, Your Honor.
Ms. Phelps, any opposition to that?
No.
And I guess my only question, and it's just because I'm not in the in the field anymore. What are interest rates getting better for annuities now that interest rates generally are going up, or have you seen that?
They are getting a little better, Your Honor. They are. It's still not the greatest in the world, but they are getting better. And I think we're going to start seeing more annuities, in the future.
I've not
This-
been thrilled. Go ahead.
I mean, this was really on the, it was on, we could have gone either way with this one, in my opinion. Ms. Goose didn't want to do that. She wanted to have it in the registry. And I was okay with that simply because it was sort of, like I said, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Now, I don't claim to be an annuity specialist by any stretch of the imagination, but I felt okay with it here. But I do think I'm not a huge fan of annuities unless we're talking about, I'm really not a big fan of annuities, period. But I think if the interest rates do continue to go up, I might become a better fan of them in a case like this. But
What we see so often now are people who try to sell their annuities and pennies on the dollar, and you don't really make that much money more than you do in the registry, or you didn't, at least before the interest rates rose. So I share your concern, Mr. Graney, that I look at some of the deals we get on annuities and I'm like, why are we even doing this? But so I don't have any problem with this at all.
And then in some of the bigger cases where you have a lot more money to deal with, I'd rather put it into a trust and do it that way. But
there's a lot of costs with the trust too, but yeah, it gives you a lot more flexibility. I have no problem with putting the registry of the court, especially a smaller case, given the interest rates as they've been. Sounds like we have an agreement as to the amount of the guardian ad litem fees. Court will approve the settlement as requested by the guardian ad litem. And Miss, how do you say your name, Miss Noquez?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How do you say your name?
Noguez?
Noguez, Miss Noguez.
Yes.
We wish you the best of luck. I hope everything goes okay with your daughters and that they will continue to be healthy. I'm glad your Zoom held up throughout the course of this. I was a little worried, so I'm glad it worked out.
Thank you so much.
Miss Eldris, Miss Phelps, I'm glad you guys worked everything out. Have you guys gotten an order together for me, a judgment?
Yes.
Yes.
Believe we circulated that to Mr. Greening, and we were just waiting on your signature, Mr. Greening. I don't know if you were able to review that.
oh, I did. I thought I signed off on it. Or Brenda, you can sign that with permission. And send it
Okay.
in. And then Judge Hoffman, I sent in my report with an order on my fees earlier today.
Rhonda, can you go ahead and print out that order for me or send it to me in the queue? It'd actually be just fine. And once they send you the judgment, you can send it to me in the queue as
Now,
well.
I did not put the amount in there because I never wanted to presuppose that. Is that okay, Rhonda? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead and e-file the judgment and email it as well to Rhonda. And anything else, Miss Eldridge, Miss Phelps?
No, Your Honor.
Judge
We'll get
Hoffman,
the order to you, Your Honor. Apologies on the delay on that.
I'm sorry?
We'll get that order to you, and apologies for the delay on that.
No problem. You guys have a great rest of your day, okay?
Judge Hoffman, would you like for me to send a new order in with my fees actually filled in?
I don't know about a new one, but if you could fill it in before you send it to us, it'll be easier, but it's not a big deal.
I sent one without it. I'll send one with it in so you don't have to mess with it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sounds good. You guys have a great rest of your day.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Judge Hoffman,
Yeah.
Thank you.
can I talk to you real quick about
Sure.
something personal?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, you
Well, let me remove her. Goodbye, Miss Noquez.
You're still on YouTube, Judge.
Uh-oh.